Hi everyone, welcome to a special edition of the Real Insights. We have a joint venture between Allsopp and Allsopp Real Estate and Hussein Luter and Associates. My name is Lewis Allsopp.
And I am Arash Saad.
So Arash Zad is actually Allsopp and Allsopp's preferred lawyer that we have on retainer with yourself.
Yes.
We're working together for 2 years now.
That's absolutely right.
So we brought Arash on to the show today to talk about something that is relevant to anyone interested in real estate, or not even real estate, anything to do with Dubai. Checks, bounce checks, how it works, what happens with it, what are the new laws. So we thought we'd bring an expert in today to talk through the ins and out of it. So this must be a big case of yours. You deal with a lot of checks in Dubai and criminal?
Definitely, yes. The number of checks that are exchanging in this market, it's huge. And unfortunately, there are a lot of checks that gets bounced.
Yeah.
And people, they come to us and ask for help.
We're the same, if you look at all the accounts we've got, Dibizzle, Property Finder, rent, everything is check. So I think, like anything, if a business goes into trouble or liquidation, I can imagine the first thing is you're looking at your checks.
Bounces checks, yes, that's true. And the thing is that depending on the countries, they have different sets of rules to deal with checks. So UAE has a good legal system backing up the check, but still people they
bounce them.
They bounce.
Oh, I know. But that also goes back to I think some car finance companies and mortgage companies, they take checks for guarantee checks.
True.
Which, look, I get the concept of it, but if we're going to speak openly about it, if someone doesn't have the money and they've bounced they've lost their job and they've got a mortgage and they've got a 1 million check outstanding,
there's no value.
So I think there's lots of added value in the checks, but it's got to be done correctly. So the law's recently changed in that regarding bounce checks with criminalities and everything else, because my knowledge to bounce checks was, if you bounce a check, you go to prison, and it's a criminal offence, and that's it. This has recently changed?
It's a current criminal offence.
Okay.
Basically, if I want to explain about what is a bounce check, I can very easily explain to you that when a check will be bounced.
Yep.
The moment that the issuer issues a check or draws a check, and there is no sufficient amount in the account backing up that check, and the check date is current, of course, the check will be bounced.
Really?
As simple as this. So, as you correctly mentioned, there are people are giving out checks thinking that, all right, it's a guarantee check. They're not going to use this check at any time. But what happens if they use it, actually?
Yes.
Because the moment you sign and hand over the check, you have to support this check. You have to honor it.
Yeah.
So you have to have sufficient.
It's literally a guarantee, isn't it?
It is a guarantee, but it doesn't take you off the responsibility if you have given it for the purpose of a guarantee. That's a different story, because then you have to honor that check. Yeah. Yet you get the chance to go and file a case against the person who put that check in action.
So if, let's say, for instance, you written me a check and it bounced for whatever reason, let's say you've lost your job, St. Luter and Associates, you can't you're now freelancing. If that's happened, and I've got your check, at what point can I go to the police station and make a case against you? Is there a limit, and what's the process?
Okay, good question. The check has a date. Okay. At that date, the check has to get cleared. Okay. If it doesn't, immediately you have the right to go and lodge a complaint. Okay. So when a check gets bounced, see, the first example I just gave you, I told you that when you issue a check and then there's not enough money in the account, it will be bounced. The second thing is, because I think it's good people, they know about this kind of technicalities, because they think that, okay, if they don't have enough money, it will be bounced. No, there are other situations that the check gets bounced as well. And the second thing is that I draw a cash, I'll give a check, I'll give it to you, and I have enough money. Okay. So maybe they would think that, okay, there's nothing wrong, but then I'll go and withdraw some cash from my account. Yeah. Either fully or partially. Yeah. That again makes my account insufficient to support the check. Again, it gets bounced. Another scenario is when a check is clean. Yeah. I have enough money in the account.
A regular signature.
I'll ask my bank to stop the check if it comes to the bank. Wow. Sometimes it happens because there are some disputes.
And can a bank do that quite easy?
Immediately they will do it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
The reason is that I will go and say, I lost my check. This number of check, I lost it. I'm not going to say anything else. The bank, immediately they will put a flag on that.
So then 3 things there. So we've got people that don't have enough money in, people that have the money, maybe the mortgage has come out and withdrawn it or whatever happened, and then thirdly, the cancel check. All of them things, but them 3 things there, if we just round them up, do they all come under the same case of a bounce check and it's criminal? Is that what we're saying?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, fine. Yes. So what about irregular signatures?
That's the 4th one.
Yeah.
Irregular signature or misspelling the check, the amounts or name.
Really?
Again, the check gets bounced because of irregularity. I can add another one as well, which is so we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the 5th one is that I have an account. I have a clear check. The amount is correct. I have the amount, everything, and it's a PDC check.
Yeah.
So perhaps I have given it like 2-3 months.
Yep.
Within this time frame, things goes wrong. I have to go and close my account.
Yes.
I close the account. I withdraw the cash, everything. And when the check gets presented to the bank,
it says account closed.
There is no account.
And that's obviously criminal as well, because again, you're putting your name to it.
That we can pursue it in 2 different ways, basically.
Okay, so let's say, for instance, you're in that scenario, and you are the person that's bounced the check. So Arash has lost his job. He hasn't really lost his job, by the way.
But you keep repeating it. I'm getting worried now.
They're saying Luther's watching it. Okay, so the check's been bounced. What are the concerns? So what happens? Run us through the process. So let's say, for instance, you go to the police station. Someone's made a case against you. What are the remedies? What happens? You have to visit the police station. What is the process?
Okay, all right. I have a check. Or you have a check of me.
Yeah. I've got your check.
You got mine. It can't be another way around.
No.
All right, no worries. You take my check. You take it to the bank. Bank bounces it.
Yes.
So you will receive a letter from the bank confirming that this check has been bounced. So you have 2 options. You can proceed through a criminal case, or you can proceed through a civil case.
Okay.
I can briefly explain about these 2 proceedings.
Please do.
Basically, and the thing that bothers me that I see a lot of clients that they go to a lawyer and they'll ask a lawyer to proceed.
Yeah.
They don't know exactly what are options they have.
Yeah.
They don't explain to them. So they proceed with the first and easiest way,
which is criminal
case.
Of course, because you get the police call you and say, you got a criminal case against you. Go, oh my God.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, some of the clients, they tell me that, okay, we want to do it through criminal case because of the horror and the threatening method, and the person will be
which is understandable, from a point of view, if someone owed me money and I knew it was a case where I was due it, I would potentially go down the criminal case, and I wouldn't know that there is another option around civil. So tell us a little bit about the civil and criminal difference.
See, it totally depends on the person, the issuer.
Okay.
Some people, they don't care. They just take the jail term. Yeah. They do a month or 2, and they're off the leash.
No, thank you.
So there is no problem for them. But some people, especially people within a good position at their work, etc., they care about their reputation.
Like you.
I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, you put the check out there now.
I have to watch my checks from now on. Getting me worried. Anyways, so the check basically has these 2 options that you can proceed. So I'm going to explain to you how it works with the criminal case. The first step is that you need to go to a police station.
Yep.
The police station has to be in the same emirate that you received the check.
Okay, so Dubai to Dubai. Yeah, okay.
When you go there, you will lodge a complaint.
Yep.
I have a check case. And I know that they have now an application as well, so you can do it
online.
Through an application online. So
nice.
It's easier. The first thing that happens is the police will contact the bank.
Yes.
Of the check issuer. They will ask them for certain information to clarify the bank account holder, the bank account number, how much money is in the account, or there's no money, and the bank will get back to them in writing. Okay. So the moment that they receive that letter, they will start contacting the check issuer. Okay. So he has to come, or he or she has to come, and be present at the police station and explain. When they go there, they have the right to settle the amount on the spot.
Okay.
And get
really
released. Yes.
So literally, they'll pull you in. Let's say it's a criminal case. Yeah. They've got the letter from the bank. They'll call you saying, "Come down."
Yeah.
So 2 things: would you advise to take a lawyer down with you?
You can do this. Yes.
Which would be you.
In case, only if I'm not the issue.
You can't be both. So, yeah, if he's the issue. So obviously you want. My advice would be to take a lawyer down, because obviously they know the ins and outs, rather than just going, "Oh, okay, what am I signing?"
Exactly.
So they would settle it on the spot, and that would be it. The case would be closed.
That's it.
Okay. And what happens if they with a criminal case? If you go, "I haven't got the money. I'm sorry."
Exactly. So they don't have money. Sometimes they will ask for some time.
Okay.
Saying, "Give me some time.
Yeah.
I will arrange the money and I'll pay."
Yes.
That's totally to the discretion of the police station.
Is it the police station, or is it the litigator? What's it called?
At that point, we are at the police station.
Okay.
Yeah. So they might give you this chance, or they might not.
And that's down to the personal preference.
Personal preference and the check amount.
Okay.
Mainly the check amount plays a big role in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So say, for example, if the check amount is $1 million, sorry, there is no extra time. You have to pay it right now.
So let's use $1 million as an example. You pay that money now. Mm-hmm. You're sitting there. Your lawyers have gone down.
Yeah.
The $1 million's not there. Do they take your passport and you go to prison? What happened?
They
really?
Yeah. They will arrest the person till he makes the payment.
Wow.
Because if he says that I will arrange it, so okay, no problem. We will detain you. You will stay here, and then you will arrange the payment. Again, if the amount is not that high, they might accept to keep his passport and then release him on bail.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So that's criminal. So if someone genuinely owes you money in Dubai, it's a very good law to have, isn't it? You know, if it's done correctly. So I do think that, again, there are people that in Dubai and around the world that maybe try and use checks and monetary value. So there's a fraud or anything that's happening. Having this type of law in place really protects the person who's written the check out, isn't it?
That's absolutely right. Yeah. Because if there is no fear for being jailed at the higher amount, of course, people, they will just easily give checks without any consideration.
So let's talk about this, and let's talk about the civil. So,
but the criminal didn't stop here, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's at the police station only.
Okay.
So then, what happens after the police station? If the person didn't pay and settle, so the police will prepare the file, send it to the public prosecutor.
Yeah.
The public prosecutor role is to investigate more about the criminal act that happened.
Yes.
So they will start asking questions. See that what was the reason why the check got bounced. If they have any explanation, they would obviously they will look into it.
Of course.
One of the things that might happen also there in the public prosecutor's office is that they might even agree with releasing the person on bail if he was arrested till that time.
Yeah.
If not, then again he will continue being arrested
until it's dealt with.
The file is transferred.
Okay.
After this stage, we have the criminal court.
Yeah.
The criminal court is where the court will basically dig deeper into the investigation.
Yep.
And will establish all the elements of a criminal case.
Yeah.
And then only they will issue the judgment. So the judgment where they will get in that stage, it could be either of these two. Either it will be a prison sentence.
Yeah.
Which ranges from a month to 3 years.
For what? So this is what I was going to go on to about this. There's been a law recently about the values of these checks, hasn't there?
True.
Can you let everyone know who's watching what are the values before you go to prison, and what are this? How does it work?
Yeah. It was in December 2017 when the UAE introduced this new rule, and let me pinpoint this. It's very important. This rule only applies to Dubai. A lot of people, they call us from Abu Dhabi, from different
help me.
Yeah,
we can't help you.
No, this doesn't work. It's only for Dubai.
Okay.
That's the number one.
Well, we live here. It's good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Just make sure not to have meetings outside Dubai and give checks. Yeah. To be honest with the people, they are doing that.
Well, I used to do business in Abu Dhabi, and I suppose if you give a check to Abu Dhabi, and
that's it. It's Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, of course.
It's Abu Dhabi.
So let's get back to the what happens and what are the thresholds.
Yeah. So basically, first it has to be in Dubai.
Yeah.
And second, the check amount has to be less than 200,000 dirhams. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
So if it's less than 200,000 dirham, they divided it like this: that less than 50,000 dirham of check value.
Yep.
They'll get 2,000 dirham fine.
No prison time.
No prison.
So what happens? Okay, so the question that someone's going to ask who's watching this to a lawyer, as we're not charging for this either, it's free, is that if it's, let's say, 10,000 dirhams, someone's bounced a check, they have to pay 2,000 dirhams, as a fine. What happens to the check though that they've got? Is that not payable?
No, I'll get to that point as well. Let me just finish this part because it's incomplete. Now, for less than 50,000 dirham, they'll get 2,000.
Yep.
Between 50,000 to 100,000 dirham of a check value, they'll get 5,000 dirham. Fine. And from 100,000 to 200,000, they'll get 10,000 dirham fine. And that's at no prison time. Yeah? So what most people, they're not aware of it, and the lawyers sometimes they don't inform them, is this, that if you go for a criminal case, that doesn't make money for you.
Of course.
Yeah. So it will only put that person in prison, or they will be penalized. Yeah. And the penalty doesn't go to the claimant; it goes to the government.
Really?
So that's the whole idea. And
I suppose because you're breaking the law of the government, effectively, aren't you?
The mere fact that they have issued a check, which is not honored by the bank, is a criminal act.
Of course.
So they have to be punished for that, and that's the government's right.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, and then people, they call us, tell us that, hey, I filed a case and I won the case, but I didn't get my money. I said, yes, because you have filed a criminal case. They haven't explained to you.
So let me just ask this question then again, because I'm just trying to dumb it down for anyone who's like me and watching it. So, someone's put a check for 100,000 dirhams, okay?
All right.
They've got the fine. Let's call it 5,000 dirhams at that price?
100,000, yes.
Okay, so...
Less than 100,000 is actually
99,000 dirhams, let's call it 5,000 dirhams. So they've put a criminal case, okay? They've won the case. What happens when they don't get that money?
They don't get the money, no.
So what are they putting a case for then?
They might get their money in case if the person who was detained or put
backs
in
away
jail,
and says, I'll pay.
Yes, he says that I'll pay, and they settle it.
So
but
the
government will not force them to pay based on that criminal case.
Really?
No.
So the main reason for a criminal case, for anyone that's watching, is to, I suppose, get your client into submission to say, look, I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to get a criminal offence. I'll pay you the money that you due. Is that effectively what criminal is? Okay, which again, if it was me, I wouldn't want to go to prison. You just pay the money rather than
because to be honest with you, sometimes people's check gets bounced due to some unforeseen reasons, and they are out of country, they are in a difficult situation, but they are not even aware that the check has been bounced. So they really are looking forward to repay their debts. But so they need this chance. So the moment that they see, okay, there's a criminal case, no, this is not what we want, we're going to pay it. So they're going to arrange the fund and they pay.
Fantastic. So now we've got civil. Civil's a big one, a civil case that a lot of people talk about. That we're going to use criminal as, look, we're going to make you pay, otherwise you're going to prison. That's effectively what it is. If you give me a basic breakdown, give us a breakdown of civil. How does civil work?
Civil is easy. So basically, another important point here is that the client should know if you have already started or initiated the criminal case, you don't have the right to proceed with the civil.
Really?
You just have to stop you have to wait till the criminal case gets concluded and final, then only you have the right to proceed through the civil case. The civil case, you just file the case before the court, Dubai court, and you will ask and claim for your check value.
Question.
Yes.
The person that's had a civil case against them, do they get arrested?
They will be notified by the court to come and be present at the court's hearing.
Courts,
So if you don't, they will issue an arrest order.
But if, let's say, for instance, so with a civil, just to break it down, you make the case at the police station. Once you've made the case, it goes to the court straight away, and the courts start the process of asking you to represent yourself with your lawyer.
Yes.
And what would happen from there is that you would represent them, take the evidence, and you're either guilty or not guilty.
You have to just come and explain that why you're not paying. So again, you will have the right to come and pay and settle. If you settle, obviously there is nothing on you. The case will be closed. But if you don't, what happens is that the court, after ordering and you don't pay, the court has the right to freeze your assets. They will start freezing your bank accounts, your property if you have under your own name, your vehicles, whatever you have under your name, it will be frozen.
Wow.
And they will put it on auction, sell it.
So just end your life. So turn up to court with your lawyer. Is that what you're saying? But look, people think that's harsh, but that's what happens anywhere else in the world.
You have to honor your check.
Exactly.
If you don't, that's the only way that they will do it.
I mean,
they are giving you, as you've seen in the process, they are giving you many chances to settle the amount without being, without suffering.
If you don't go to court in America or England when you're summoned, the same thing happens. You get a warrant arrest. That's normal.
In a civil case, basically, what happens is that if you don't attend, you lose your chance to defend yourself. So there will be a judgment issued against you without you having the chance to defend yourself.
Wow.
So in most cases, when they don't attend at the hearing, the judge will give the utmost punishment which is there.
Of course, well, listen, you can't respect someone turning up on time.
Most of the cases that they don't attend and the amount of the check is high in criminal cases, they get 3 years on the spot.
Really?
3 years.
What's high amount though? Million?
Yeah, a million.
So if you bounce a million check and it goes civil, you're probably going to get 3 years, approximately.
You cannot tell. Totally, it's at the discretion of the judge.
Of course.
We had cases.
Yeah,
we are live now, but I'll tell you this. But we had cases that it was over a million, and judge felt just to give them a penalty and a fine.
Really? Listen, that's a good thing. If that million's due, but there's a genuine reason, if someone sits down and says, "I've lost my job, this has happened," you don't need to punish someone at that level. If someone's gone out of their way unlawfully, then I do agree with it. Okay, I got one last question for you that come in on my LinkedIn, because I've just let everyone know on LinkedIn that you were going to be here. Someone wanted to know about checks. So again, another check question is: if I write a check current dated and I issue that to you, I'm going to give you a check today.
Okay, that's good.
If I write you that check,
I'm not getting any checks today. Okay.
How long do you have to cash it, and what happens once that time period finishes?
That's a very good question, actually.
Yeah.
A check has a date, obviously. From the date onward, you have the right to present the check to the bank.
Okay.
But there is a time limit of 6 months.
Okay.
To present that check to the bank.
Okay.
If that time limit exceeds, the bank will not accept your check.
Okay.
A lot of people, they have this idea that if the 6 months passes, then I'll lose my chance to file a criminal case. That's true, but not only that, the bank will not even honor that check. Even if there is enough money in the account, they will not accept the check if the 6 month has been passed.
That's very, very good information. So anyone that's watching, again, just trying to I suppose regurgitate what you're saying. So first of all, if you give a check and it goes over 6 months, you can't cash it.
You can't, no.
Secondly, once that 6 months period finishes, you can't make a criminal case either.
No.
Wow. No. So cash that check if you need to cash it.
You have to. So what people they do, they just take the check to the bank.
Yeah.
They bounce it.
Yeah.
So they have all the certificates and everything. They go to the police station. They initiate. They lodge the complaint initially, but they don't proceed. They don't follow up.
Yeah.
Because they want to make sure that the person will come and pay them. Yeah. And they don't lose the right to of that 6 months.
Okay.
So that's also one way to support themselves from the criminal perspective as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much for coming down.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So this is Arash. We're going to get Arash on more often over the next coming weeks. We'll try and get some content about law. I'm sure we'll have many questions asked, and I'll ask you to inbox our LinkedIn, social media, go directly to Arash. He's on our Instagram and Facebook. This is Hussein Luta and Associates. They are Allsopp and Allsopp's lawyers who we have on retainer on a year-to-year basis and have a 100% hit ratio for any cases that we've had. We've had clients that have owed us money, represented us, and has always won. And the knowledge this company has is absolutely outstanding. Anyone that's watching, no problem, it's true though, I'm not lying. So anyone that's watching this and wants any information regarding any legal disputes, please feel free to contact him. He's a very, very good guy to know. With more from us, that's enough from me. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.